Welcome back. It's that time of the year again. People across the country have begun to rack their heads about the upcoming Union Budget 2012. As part of our special segment, Dear Finance Minister, we decided to speak to few citizens and find out what's on their wish list for Pranab Mukherjee. Today, it's the turn of the politicians' wish list to Pranab Da. Take a look.
The concept of outcome budget was introduced by the then Finance Minister P. Chidambaram. Pandya-Rajan, an expert in the field of HR and the founder of MAFOI, wants the present Finance Minister too to implement this concept effectively. Here is a long wish list of Pandya-Rajan to his dear Finance Minister.
Dear Finance Minister, I think the greatest challenge the country faces today is to reverse the fall in the growth rate. From 8.5% GDP, we've fallen to 6.9% last quarter, and the best case estimate seems to be 7.2% for this year. We need to figure out ways by which we can prime the economy again so that the GDP goes higher on the growth path. I think in the last year, unemployment rates in India have really increased. So we need to work on a budget which will be employment oriented, specifically something which will foster integration of this humongous number of labor laws. Integration of labor laws leading to better labor ecosystem will stimulate investments. In my view, the fallen investments which have happened last year, we need to stimulate it back to where it was originally. The number of jobs in the organized sector, which hit a high of around 1.5 million jobs, is again showing a trend towards lowering down. In my view, this has to be reversed. One of the things I like to see happen is what Mr. Chidambaram initiated about a decade ago, when he said there will be an outcome budget. Every allocation to every ministry, there will be a commitment on how many new jobs get created. It just lasted for one budget, and after that, successive finance ministers have given it a go by. Maybe it's time to restore that. One of the things which most people have been speaking about is repatriating the money from the Swiss banks. And with HSBC being open enough to let us have the names and the account numbers and everything of these people who are holding the Swiss bank accounts, I think we should take a leaf from what some of the European countries have done. Like I understand Germany and UK recently have been able to actually get the Swiss banks to share a part of the money which has been kept there in the Swiss bank account towards the legitimate tax that these people have to pay. And it runs to $2-3 billion as far as I understand. So I think instead of holding ideological positions on these Swiss bank accounts, it's time the government takes practical tips from some of the governments which have found ways by which revenue can be earned for the government. Your entire mobilization of revenue should take this tack of getting our own legitimate tax revenue out of the illegitimate money which has been stacked up in the overseas banks.
Nothing wrong in following the footsteps of Germany and UK while it comes to repatriating our money from the Swiss bank. Create a better labor ecosystem and make this budget an employment-oriented one. These and many more featured in the wish list of Pandya-Rajan to his dear Finance Minister. With camera persons Srinivas and Thiru, this is Hariharan for NDTV Hindu.
In some entertainment news, Agnipath, the remake, releases on the 26th of January, an important release for Bollywood in general and Hrithik Roshan in particular. After Kites and Guzarish, this is Hrithik Roshan's first solo release. He spoke to NDTV's Sonia Singh on how the new hero of the new Agnipath wouldn't mind playing a villain in other films.
Suddenly, there's all this buzz in Bollywood about playing the bad guy. We saw Shah Rukh in Don 2. Sanjay Dutt, of course, is the villain here as a Kancha Cheena. Do you ever think you're seen as a good hero? Does the bad or the notion of playing the villain appeal to you ever as well?
Actually, it depends on the kind of world. Like, I wouldn't mind playing the villain of Krish, as long as I'm also getting to play the hero. And that is actually something that I wanted to do because the villain's role is so entertaining in the film. But of course, once I saw Vivek perform it, I reserved my, I just knew that it's gone the right way. I should not have attempted that role. But an out, well, actors are basically explorers. You have to each his own. You have to explore your art as much as you can, and keep yourself from getting monotonous and bored. It's always fun. Like for me, it's really great fun to bounce off from one extreme, like maybe a kites, and go into a Guzarish, and then come out and do a Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, then an Agnipath, and then dive into Krish. So it's like, it's not, I'm sort of challenging myself, and it gets easier if I bounce off from one extreme to the other.
Well, that's it from me tonight. Thanks for watching. Keep watching NDTV Hindu.